Something's not working. Something's not working. Here we go. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025. On behalf of the San Antonio Vehicle Impound Facility Auction, I'd like to welcome you here to the auction through JoeRedAutos.com. My name is Dalia Guardiaga. I'm licensed by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. My license number is 18222. Before we get started with today's sale, I will go over some important terms and conditions. You must be 18 years or older to bid on today's vehicles. All vehicles today are sold as is, where is, with no warranties expressed or implied. All sales are final. A $32 processing fee applies to each vehicle that is purchased. There's also a platform fee. Both of these fees are added to your bid price as seen on your screen. All vehicles must be paid for no later than Thursday. Payments can be made today after the auction until 10 p.m. and tomorrow until 4 p.m. That's Wednesday today and Thursday tomorrow of this week, folks. Registered bidder must present a valid ID when paying out. Payments need to be made in person by cash, Visa, MasterCard, or Discover. The gate to remove your vehicles will open today after the auction until 9 p.m. Thursday and Friday, that gate's open from 8:30 in the morning until 4 p.m. In order to remove any of the vehicles, you must have a paid invoice, and the vehicle must be removed by a TVLR tow truck, trailer, or tow dolly with an electric winch. No guests are allowed when picking up your vehicle. It must be you only, and you must have a reflective vest on while you're in the yard. Vehicles must be registered within 20 days. This is a police impound, and if third-party issues arise, you will not be able to receive assistance. Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Hoy es miércoles, día 2 de julio 2025. En nombre de la subasta de instalaciones de incautación de vehículos de San Antonio, me gustaría darle la bienvenida a la subasta a través de JoeRedAutos.com. Mi nombre es Dalia Guardiaga y tengo la licencia del Departamento de Licencias y Regulación de Texas. Mi número de licencia es 18222. Antes de comenzar con la oferta de hoy, repasaré los términos y condiciones importantes. Debe tener 18 años o más para ofertar por los vehículos de hoy. Todos los vehículos se venden tal como están, sin garantía expresa y todas las ventas son definitivas. Se aplica una tarifa de procesamiento de $32 a cada vehículo que se compra y también hay una tarifa de plataforma. Ambas son agregadas al precio de oferta como aparecen en su pantalla. Todos los vehículos deben pagarse a más tardar el jueves. Los pagos se pueden realizar hoy después de la subasta hasta las 10 de la noche y mañana hasta las 4 de la tarde. Eso es miércoles hoy y jueves mañana de esta semana. El postor registrado deberá presentar una identificación válida al realizar su pago. El pago debe realizarse en persona con efectivo, Visa, Mastercard o Discover. La puerta para retirar sus vehículos se abrirá hoy después de la subasta hasta las 9 de la noche. Y jueves y viernes la puerta se abrirá desde 8:30 de la mañana hasta las 4 de la tarde. Para retirar cualquier vehículo debe tener una factura pagada y el vehículo debe ser retirado mediante una grúa, remolque o plataforma rodante CDLI con una moza eléctrica. No se permiten invitados al momento de recoger su vehículo, debe ser solo usted y debe tener un chaleco reflectante puesto mientras está dentro de la instalación. Los vehículos deberán matricularse en el plazo de 20 días. Este es un depósito policial y si surgen problemas con terceros, no se les va a poder brindar asistencia. Also, a friendly reminder, folks, don't forget your auction sales receipt will not indicate any of the mileage. There's no exception to this rule. That will not be put on the auction sales receipts. More information can be found online under your terms and conditions online. Nada más un recordatorio que los recibos de la subasta cuando compra un vehículo no va a mostrar el kilometraje del vehículo, no hay excepciones. So, por favor de tener eso en cuenta cuando está haciendo una compra aquí en el Impound. All right, folks, we're going to get with number one right here is the 2000 Honda MC CBR Series. 2000 Honda MC CBR Series, folks. Here we go. I'm at 4 1/4 now, 4 1/2, 4 1/4 now, 4 1/2, bid 4 1/2, 4 1/4 now, 4 1/2. Now 475. I'm at 4 1/2 now, 475. Bid 475, 475. Sold 4 1/2. Sold 4 1/2. Moving on to lot number 2 is going to be the 2007 Honda CBR. This one here is going to be the 2007 Honda CBR, folks. Here we go. 875 now 900. $900. 875 now 900. Bid 900 now 9 1/4. 9 1/4 now 9 1/2 now 975. Bid 975 975. 975 now 1000. Bid 1000. 975 now 1000. 1050. Bid 1050. 1050. 1050. Sold 1000. Sold 1000. Lot number 3 is going to be the 2020 Ducati Other, folks. Here we go. Lot number 3 is a 2020 Ducati Other, folks. I'm at 800 now 8 1/4. 800 bid now 8 1/4 now 8 1/2. I'm 8 1/4 now 8 1/2 now 875. Bid 875 900 now 9 1/4 now 9 1/2. Bid 9 1/2 now 975. Now 1000 1050. Bid 1050 1100 now 11 1/2. But 11 1/2, 11 1/2, now 1200. 1200, 1200, now 12 1/2, 13, now 13 1/2. Bid 13 1/2, now 14. Bid 14, 1400, 1400. Bid 1400, now 14 1/2. I'm at 1400, now 14 1/2, now 15. 1500, 15 1/2, now 16. Bid 16 1/2. 16 1/2, 1650, 16 1/2. Sold $1,600, sold $1,600. Lot number 4, salvage, salvage, salvage on this 2020 BMW Other, folks. Salvage on this 2020 BMW Other. Salvage, salvage. I'm at 5 1/2 now 575. 600 now 6 1/4. 6 1/2 now 675. 700 now 7 1/4. 700 bid now 7 1/4. 7 1/2. 775. 800 now 8 1/4. 8 1/2 now 875. 900 now 9 1/4. Bid 9 1/4. 9 1/2 now 975. 1000 1050. Bid 1050, 1100, now 11 1/2. 11 1/2, now 12, now 12 1/2. 13, now 13 1/2. Bid 13 1/2, 14, now 14 1/2. 14 1/2, 1500, now 15 1/2. Bid 1550, 1550. 15 1/2, now 16, 16 1/2. 1700, now 17 1/2. 1800, bid 1800, 1800. 1800. 1800. Sold 17 1/2. Sold 17 1/2. Lot number 5 is going to be a rebuild salvage, folks. Rebuild salvage 2019 Honda CBR, folks. This one here is a 2019 Honda CBR rebuild salvage. Rebuild salvage on this one, folks. 3 1/2 now 375. 375, 400. Bid 400, $400. 400, now 4 and a quarter. Bid 4 and a quarter, 4 and a quarter, 400, now 4 and a quarter, 425, 425. Now 4.5. I'm 4.5, 475. Now 500. Now 5 and a quarter. 5 and a bit. Now 5 and a quarter. Now 5.5. I need 5.5. 5 and a quarter. Now 5.5. Now 575. Bid 575. Now 600. Now 6 and a quarter. 600 bid. Now 6 and a quarter. Now 6.5. 6.5. 675. 700. Bid 700. $700. 7 and a quarter. I'm 7 and a quarter. Now 7.5. 7 and a quarter. Now 7.5. Bid 7.5. 750. 7 and a quarter. Now 7.5. Now 775. 775. Now 800. Bid 800, $800. 775, now 800, now 8 and a quarter. 800 bid, now 8 and a quarter, now 8.5. I need 8.5. 8.5, now 875. Bid 875, 875. 875, now 900. I need 900. 875, now 900. Sold 875. Sold 875. Lot number 6 is the 2004 Buick Century, folks. It is the 2004 Buick Century, folks. Lot number 6. I'm at 300, now 3 and a quarter. 300 bid, now 3 and a quarter. Bid 3 and a quarter, 325, 3 and a quarter. 325, 3.5, now 375. I'm at 3.5, now 375. Bid 375, 400, now 4 and a quarter. Bid 4 and a quarter, 425, 425. Sold $400. Sold $400. Lot number 7 is your 2011 Toyota Camry. Lot number 7 is your 2011 Toyota Camry. I'm at 8 and a quarter, now 8.5. 8 and a quarter, now 8.5. Bid 8.5. 8 and a quarter, now 8.5. 850, 850, 1,000, 1,050. 1,050, now 1,100. 1,100, now 11.5. I'm at 1,100, now 11.5. Bid 11.5. 1,100, now 11.5. Now 1,200. Bid 1,200. 11.5, now 1,200. Lot number 8. Rebuild salvage 2009, folks. It is a 2009 Nissan Altima rebuild salvage. I'm at 2.5, now 275. Bid 2.5, now 275. 275, 275. 275. 300, now 3 and a quarter. 3 and a bid, now 3.5, now 375. Bid 375, now 400, now 4 and a quarter. 300, now 3 and a quarter. 3 and a bid, now 3.5, now 375. Bid 375, now 400, now 4 and a quarter. 400 bid, now 4 and a quarter. 4.5, now 475. Bid 475. 500, now 5 and a quarter. 5 and a bid, now 5 and a quarter. Bid 5 and a quarter. 525, now 5.5. I'm 5 and a quarter, now 5.5. Bid 5.5. 550. Sold 5 and a quarter. Sold 5 and a quarter. Lot number 9 is a 2008 Dodge Avenger. Lot number 9 is a 2008 Dodge Avenger, folks. Here we go. 475, now 500. $500. 475, now 500. Bid 500. Now 5 and a quarter, now 5.5. 5 and a quarter, now 5.5. Bid 5.5. 550. Now 575. Bid 575. 600. Bid 600. 575. Now 600. Now 6 and a quarter. 600 bid. Now 6 and a quarter. Bid 6 and a quarter. 625. Sold $600. Sold $600. Lot number 10 is your 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe, folks. 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe. Lot number 10, folks. 4,700, now 47.5, now 48. Bid 4,800, 4,800. 100, 47.5, now 48. Bid 4,800, 47.5, now 48. 48.5, now 49. I need 49. 48.5, now 49. 49.5, now 5,000. $5,000. 49.5, now 5,000. 5,100, now 52. Bid 5,200, now 53. Bid 53. 5,200, now 53, now 54. Bid 54. 5,300, now 54. 5,400, now 55, now 56. Bid 56. 5,600, now 57. 5,700, now 58. I need 58. 5,700, now 58. Bid 58, now 58. 59. 5,900, now 6,000. Bid 6,000, now 61. I'm at 6,000, now 61. Bid 6,100, now 62. Bid 62. 6,200, now 63. Bid 6,300, now 64. 6,400, 6,400. Sold 6,300, sold 6,300. Lot number 11, rebuild salvage. Lot number 11 is a rebuild salvage, folks. 2007 Honda Accord. I'm at 3.5, now 375. 3.5, now 375. 375. 375. I'm at 3.5, now 375. 400, now 4.25. 4.25. 4.5, now 475. 475. 500, now 5.25. Bid 5.25. Now 5.5. I'm 5.25, now 5.5. Bid 5.5. Now 575. 5.5, now 575. Bid 575. Sold 5.5. Sold 5.5. Lot number 12 is a 2012 Chevrolet Impala, folks. Lot number 12 is going to be your 2012 Chevrolet Impala, folks. 3.25, not 3.5. I'm 3.25, not 3.5. Bid 3.5. 3.25, not 3.5. 350. 3.5. 375, now 400. Bid 400. 375, now 400. Bid 400. 4.25, now 4.5. I'm 4.25, now 4.5. Bid 4.5. 4.25, now 4.5. 475, now 500. Bid 500. Now 5.25. 500 bid, now 5.25. Bid 5.25. 525. Sold $500. Sold $500. Lot number 13 is going to be the 2011 Nissan Sentra, folks. Lot number 13 is going to be the 2011 Nissan Sentra, folks. 5.25, now 5.5. I'm 5.5, now 575. Bid 575. 575. 575, now 600. Bid 600. 600, now 6.25. 600 bid, now 6.25. Bid 6.25, now 6.5. 6.25, now 6.5. Bid 6.5, now 675. I'm 6.5, now 675. 675. Now 700. I need 700. 675, now 700. Bid 700, now 7.25. 700 bid, now 7.25. 725. 725. Sold $700. Sold $700. Lot number 14 is your 2014 Kia Forte, folks. This one here, lot number 14, is going to be your 2014 Kia Forte. 9.5, now 975. 9.5, now 975. Bid 975, 975. 975, 1,000, 1,050. But 1,050 means 50. 1,050. Now 1,100. I'm at 1,050. Now 1,100. Bid 1,100 means 100. $1,100. Sold 1,050. Sold 1,050. Lot number 15 is going to be the 1995 Pontiac Firebird.